Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's meditation. I'm your host, Jill Pulowski, here at Vitalia Strongsville. Hope you are all feeling well, and hope you maybe did a little bit of homework from last week. If you joined me last week, we talked about stillness and the importance of allowing ourselves to be still, to take moments of rest, to not think that doing nothing is unproductive, that it is actually good for our physical and mental health. So hopefully some of you took the time last week to find moments of stillness, to find moments to pause and just be present, and hope that made you feel better. Today we are going to talk about the complete opposite of stillness. We are going to get into movement. So as we get older, even myself, things change. Movement is not as easy as it used to be. You're not as flexible. Your joints are stiff. We start to get arthritis in different parts of our bodies. I can't, touch my toes as good as I used to 10, 20 years ago. I'm sore from walking all day long, opposed to, being sore from working out at the gym all day. So things change in our bodies. Our bodies react differently to movement in our lives. So you might be doing something very small and think, I got this. And then the next day you wake up and, oh my gosh, I'm so sore. What the heck did I do yesterday? And you might have just walked around the block. So bodies change, movement changes how we feel, and in a good way and a bad way. So movement is great for the body because you all have heard, you don't move it, you lose it. So if we continue to remain still always and don't work out the body, don't walk, don't stretch, things will get tight. And if we allow them to stay tight for too long, they will never become untight again, or it might take a very long time for them to loosen up. So that is one thing that we need in our lives, is that movement. Sometimes movement can be too much. So we might decide that we can climb a mountain and realize the next day that was not a good choice, and we might feel a lot of pain from that. We might even injure ourselves or pull something or twist something. So it's good to move, but be mindful of the movement that you're doing for your body. As we get older, our bodies are all different. I have a 70-year-old mother who is very flexible and fit and does yoga, and I feel like her body has not changed much because she has stayed in that steady movement all of her life. Some people get injured. They might have a hip replacement, a knee replacement, and then stop moving because they're afraid of injury or afraid of injuring that knee or that hip again. So they stop completely. And then those parts of the body then shut down, and they're not going to work probably even half as much as they used to. So just because you break something or you fall or something hurts doesn't mean to stop completely. You want to move a little bit, even in the tiniest way, to keep that fluidity going in the joint and in the muscles and in the blood flow. So today we're going to turn around. We're going to focus on the parts of our bodies that maybe aren't moving the way they used to or the way we would like them to anymore. And we are going to imagine those parts moving and dancing so gloriously, like there's nothing wrong at all, and to feel how that movement changes our well-being, which is also a good thing. When we hold stress on our bodies, it becomes stagnant and shuts down also parts of our bodies. So when we move, it releases that stress and then takes away that tightness and tension. So that's another part of why movement is good for us. It is to release that stress that we have in our lives. Sometimes just jumping up and down, or shaking, or just some movement any way you can helps to release some of that stagnant energy. So we want to get rid of that too. All right, so before we begin our meditation on how we think we can feel in our not so movable bodies anymore, we will actually move our body as best as we can. Remember, a little bit is better than none. So do what you can, and don't push yourself so it hurts, but move a little bit. Don't be afraid that something might break. You're pretty safe if it's just a little bit of movement and stretching. All right, let's sit up nice and tall in our chairs, feet flat on the floor, head over heart, heart over hips. Make sure that nice alignment is there from the top of the head to the tailbone. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears. And maybe we close our eyes for a moment here just to settle in. As we settle in, we just take a moment to scan the body. So we're looking at any tension and tightness from the top of the head down through the fingertips and the tips of the toes. So just kind of notice how your body is feeling today. Bring that awareness to the body. And those are the parts that we are going to focus on today, the parts that don't feel as good as we would like them to. And then to bring in some of that blood flow to our muscles, our joints, to loosen them up, we'll start with the breath. So sitting up tall so the lungs can fill, we'll breathe all the way in. And slowly breathe all the way out. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good, that oxygen is going into the blood. Inhale, breathe, nice and big. And slowly all the way out. Good, one more big breath. In through the nose. And out. Good job. Let's start with movement of the head. We will gently take some circles. And again, if this doesn't feel good for you, if you feel a little dizzy or the neck isn't working like it used to, we might just do a side to side stretch. If you feel okay with the circling of the neck, very slowly start to bring the chin to the chest, ear to shoulder, head back, ear to shoulder, and chin back to chest. Good. So remember, only do what feels right in your body. We're all built a little different. We have all evolved a little different into our current bodies. Through time, things change. Just let the neck loosen up here, then maybe change direction if you're circling. If you are going side to side, maybe we do forward and back a little bit there. Make sure as you're moving the head and neck that you are breathing. You want to keep that oxygen flowing into the bloodstream, loosening those muscles up. Good. Come on back to the middle wherever you're at. And let's do the same with the shoulders. We're going to circle those shoulders forward. Get some movement into the shoulder joints. And sometimes as we age, one side feels different than the other. So if you're feeling one shoulder able to move really good and the other one not so good, maybe we do one shoulder at a time. Or just move the one that works really well a little bit bigger than the one not so well. Good, and then backwards, we'll rotate the shoulders back, stretch through the chest. All right, bring your arms out and forward in front of you. And we're just gonna bend from the elbow, so there's another joint there. So we're just gonna bring the hands towards the shoulders and then back out. So again, if you can't touch your shoulders, that's okay. Just bend them as much as you can. A little is better than none at all. Good. And then bring your hands in front of you. Let's do the same with the wrists. We're going to bend the wrists different ways, forward and back, again, as best as you can. Palms up, palms down. And then we'll circle those wrists up. Get those joints moving in all directions. Another direction. Good. Hands up in front of you, palms forward, spread those fingers as wide as you can, and then close them in. Bend every finger, even that thumb. Sometimes we want to keep the thumb straight. Make sure you're also finding some movement in the thumb. So open and close a couple times, again, as best as you can. A lot of us start to get that arthritis in the hands. You want to loosen up those joints. There's lots of them in there. All right, bring those hands down. We're going to move those hips. So side to side, we'll give ourselves a little rock. Bring that movement in, shaking things up a bit. And then we will rotate, so some circles here. Rotating the hips. All right, those hips should be nice and loose. We're going to take the legs, and both legs are going to come out. So you can't see my legs, but I'm bending the legs and then straightening the legs out. So bend and straighten. So lifting the feet off the floor, straightening the legs as best as you can, and then bringing the feet back down to the floor. Straighten the legs and bring them down. Straighten and down. This is a hard one too. I feel my knees cracking and creaking for sure. Feel the thigh muscles engage as you lift the feet up. And again, only as high off the ground as it feels good for you. Good. And then keep both feet off the floor, and we're going to circle those ankles just like we did the wrists. So circle the feet around both directions. Get some blood flow into those ankles and feet. Another good thing, moving the feet, moving the ankles and the legs. As we get older, we sometimes start to retain water in the legs, especially if we have heart issues. So getting that movement, super important. Moving the feet. Point and flex. Get those legs going. All right. Bring your feet back down to the floor. Take a deep breath in. Take a slow breath out. Now that the body is all warmed up from that movement, we'll be able to relax our muscles a little better as we move into meditation. So go ahead and get nice and comfy in your seat. You might lean back, make sure again the feet are on the floor. The feet are a little bit apart, the knees are apart, so we're not clenching anything. Let the arms rest at the arms of your chair or onto your lap. Make sure the whole back of the body is supported by your chair behind you. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And then gently close your eyes. Close your eyes and allow yourself to sink back. Forget about all that movement physically. And just focus on the body sitting here in your chair. Allow yourself to gently breathe in and gently breathe out. And in your mind's eye, do that body scan again from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers and toes. And remember where in your body it feels tight, or the movement has stopped, or the movement is not as good as it used to be. Take note of where that is. If it's in the neck, if it's in the shoulders, in the back, in the hands, in the hips, the knees, the ankles, the legs in general. Maybe walking just isn't in our daily routine anymore, and that's okay. We can still move the legs, even if we're not physically walking. Just be mindful of everything that's going on in your body currently. Then in your mind's eye, as you begin to visualize yourself, see yourself standing there before you or standing in a room all by yourself, completely alone in the space. Then bring to mind that area of the body that is just not working as good as it used to. And see that part of your body as you stand there in this room, full of light. So maybe your shoulder is a glowing white light. Maybe the knees are a glowing white light. Whatever part of your body is not feeling like it used to, and see it enveloped in light. Maybe it's your whole body. And then begin to see yourself there in that room, moving that part of your body, just like it used to move. If it's your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, see your arms waving over your head, moving all around, free, with no pain, with no tension, with no tightness. If it's your legs, your knees, your hips that aren't feeling like they used to, see you kicking your legs in the air. And see yourself dancing around the room, bending and stretching. Maybe dancing to your favorite song. If it's your neck, maybe see yourself looking all over the place, moving the neck, free of pain. If it's your whole body that is feeling just not like it used to, see your whole self doing all the things with all the movement that you can. See yourself dancing or climbing or hiking. Maybe you're skiing down a ski slope. Maybe you are just out walking your dog and you feel that goodness of how it feels to just move naturally without being held back at all by anything in our body or anything in our mind that tells us, don't do it because you might get hurt. Don't move too much because you might strain something. Allow yourself and your body to be free in this moment as you watch yourself be completely open and completely free. And take some time here to enjoy that feeling. Enjoy the feeling of movement. And if it's stress that you're holding, begin to feel how that movement is releasing that stagnant energy from your body, your mind, your spirit. Maybe even visualize that energy leaving like rays of light or puffs of smoke, just kind of coming out, going away. Enjoy the feeling of being. And take a few more moments here, dancing, walking, climbing, swimming, whatever it is that your body is enjoying in the moment. Taking it all in. And as you come back to this moment in your chair, in this room that we are all in, keep that feeling of goodness in the body. Remember, the mind works in mysterious ways, and if we think that something is better than it is, maybe it will feel better than we think it is. So keep that feeling of movement and freedom as you come back here to this moment in this room. And the joy that it brings your heart and your soul and your mind. Allow that freedom to stay with you here today. And bring your awareness back to your body. Sitting here in the chair, supported by the floor and the seat in the back. And begin to invite in some small movements as we wiggle the fingers and the toes. As we let the head rock from side to side. And then come back to that nice posture in your chair as we sit up tall, stacking everything up in a line. Take a deep breath in. Feel all that goodness from your movement, and then a big breath sigh out. letting all that stress and worry and anxiety go. Remember, movement is important, and if you don't move it, you will lose it. So no matter what it is, whatever happens, continue to move. Have that faith in the strength of your body and your mind that you can move a little bit, and that will keep things oiled up, like the Tin Man. He just needs a little bit of oil in that shoulder so he can start moving again. And that's what we need to do. We need to allow ourselves to have that movement to keep us fluid, keep us moving, keep us happy. Thank you all for joining me today. Don't stop moving, but also don't stop being still. Find that balance between the moments of stillness and the moments of movement, and those combined will allow us to live a much happier, healthier life. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you next week.